You're listening to an African Elements top news story for April 2nd, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Savannah honors Civil War educator. Renames Square Susie King Taylor Square, a name echoing resilience. By Darius Spearman, African Elements, Savannah's City Council made a powerful decision. They voted to rename Calhoun Square. The new name is Taylor Square. This change honors Susie King Taylor. Taylor was formerly enslaved. She remarkably became the first African-American woman to openly teach black children in Georgia. This renaming is a significant step for the city. The square previously honored John C. Calhoun. He was a former U.S. vice president. Calhoun was also a staunch advocate for slavery. Replacing his name removes a painful symbol. Instead, Savannah now celebrates Taylor's incredible contributions. She served as an educator, nurse, and author during the Civil War. Therefore, the change reflects a shift towards acknowledging a more inclusive history. Who was Susie King Taylor? Her story is one of extraordinary courage. Born into slavery in 1848, she faced immense hardship, yet she found ways to learn. Taylor clandestinely attended secret schools in Savannah, defying laws forbidding education for enslaved people. At just 14, she escaped slavery. She reached Union-occupied territory during the Civil War. Taylor did not stop there. She immediately used her literacy skills for good. She established a school for newly freed children and adults, known as Freed People. Alongside her teaching, she also served bravely as a nurse. Taylor tended to black soldiers during the Civil War. Her dedication highlights the critical role black women played during this turbulent era. Consequently, her life serves as an inspiration. The square now bearing Taylor's name has a complex past. Originally known as Calhoun Square, it holds layers of difficult history. Research indicates the site served as a burial ground for enslaved Savannahans. Naming it after Calhoun, a defender of slavery, added another layer of pain. It represented a tie to systemic oppression for many in the black community. Replacing Calhoun's name with Taylor's transforms the space. It becomes a symbol of reconciliation. Taylor's dedication to education represents uplift and progress. Her name now marks a place once associated with bondage. Moreover, it acknowledges the deep, often overlooked history of the enslaved people connected to that land. This renaming actively counters the narrative imposed by the Calhoun dedication. Renaming the square was not a quick process. It took 3 years of dedicated effort. The Susie King Taylor Center for Jubilee led the charge. Their work involved gathering petitions. It required navigating city policies and seeking community approvals. This persistent advocacy highlights the grassroots commitment behind the change. The Savannah City Council made the final decision in October 2023. Following the vote, the square remained unnamed for about a year during the transition. The official dedication ceremony for Taylor Square finally took place on February 10, 2024. Indeed, this marked the culmination of years of work by advocates and community members. The naming of Taylor Square is truly historic. It marks the first time a Savannah square has been named after a black woman. In fact, it's the first named for any person of color. This breaks a long pattern. For 140 years, Savannah's squares predominantly honored white men, often figures connected to the slavery era or European history. Before this change, Savannah had 22 historic squares. Taylor Square now joins this unique urban landscape. Its presence signifies a deliberate move toward representation. It ensures that the city's public spaces begin to reflect the contributions of all its people. Ultimately, this decision challenges historical narratives and celebrates black achievement. Copyright, African Elements.